Zandvoort gave us a farewell weekend we will never forget. From home crowd heartbreak on lap 1 to masterclasses at the front, the 2026 Dutch Grand Prix completely shook up the championship. Let's break down all 11 teams and see who survived the chaos and who totally melted down. Let's start with the winner, Lando Norris. His confidence is operating in another planet right now, and it was brilliant to hear him actually give himself the credit he deserved post-race for an elite drive. Meanwhile, Oscar Piastri had a much quieter afternoon further back, unable to match his teammates' blistering pace when it counted. And Ferrari, finishing 4th and 5th looks okay, but they were simply too afraid to ask Charles Leclerc to move aside for Hamilton, spending half of the race paralyzed by hesitation. At Mercedes, Kimi Antonelli drove brilliantly to control the front, but the pressure is boiling over. George Russell needs to prove he wants the championship crown, and while team orders handed Kimi the spot, they really should have let them scrap it out longer. For Red Bull, it was a total whiplash. Max Verstappen home race ended on lap 1 with a high-speed crash. It's a hard pill to swallow for the Orange Army, but credit to Max, he owned it completely as a driver mistake in his post-interview. On the other side of the garage, Liam Lawson put in a seriously gritty under-the-radar drive to salvage solid points. For Racing Bulls, it was a standard hard-working Sunday, keeping the pressure on the midfield pack with clean, aggressive wheel-to-wheel combat. Over at Alpine, the team quietly went about their business, trying to squeeze every ounce of performance out of a tricky weekend without making too many headlines. Down the grid, Williams survived a messy intra-team collision, but Alex Albon looked pretty chilled about it afterwards. They already knew their raw pace could not realistically fight the frontrunners this weekend. For Haas, survival was not enough on a chaotic Zandvoort afternoon. Caught in the thick of the mid-race scramble and treacherous barrier incidents, both cars met their end early, capping off a frustrating double DNF weekend. Massive shout out to Aston Martin. Fernando Alonso wrung the absolute neck of his car, pulling off a stellar one-stop strategy to sneak into the points in P9, and it was great seeing the master smiling again. On the other side of the garage, it was a heartbreak for Lance Stroll, who picked up the early damage and struggled with handling before the team had to park the car and retire. Drama stuck at Audi when Gabriel Bertoletto spun out on a damp patch on the banking, but Nico Hülkenberg pulled off an absolute masterclass in reflexes to avoid a disastrous teammate collision. Both kept going. Gabby did a stellar job fighting back through the pack to finish P13, while Nico put in a brilliant ride to storm home into P8 and grab a valuable points. Cadillac, Checo kept his nose clean to bring it home in P15, but heartbreak hit Valtteri Bottas late in the race with a hydraulic DNF. And what gave us everything from masterclasses to total strategy meltdowns. Do you agree with how the midfield shook out? Drop your comments below, hit that like button, share with an F1 friend, and subscribe so you don't miss an update. Thanks for watching and see you next time.